Just to give an overview of the Minimum Energy Efficiency Standards Challenge, I'm going to start with actually what's in scope. So obviously the private rented sector, that's about 2.9 million homes, which will be needed to be upgraded. But it also includes the social rented sector. So these new proposals are looking to expand the scope, not just from private rented, but also to social rented. And that will include another 1 million homes that need to be retrofitted. But I think an interesting proposal is actually to include short-term lets as well. So that's holiday lets, temporary accommodation. I'd say interesting, but this means potentially new landlords that have not been exposed to minimum energy standards before, the previous rules, or even have EPCs coming on and having to get compliant all of a sudden. So there's probably going to be a lot of a need for greater awareness amongst this specific group of landlords. And there will be a number of challenges to these proposals. So firstly, timescale. So the government doesn't seem to be budging on the 2030 compliance deadline. So for all tenancies to be compliant by the time these regulations are confirmed and then implemented, we could be getting down to maybe 3 years in which to upgrade quite a significant number of properties, potentially like 4 million properties. So that's a huge hill to climb there. And then combined with this, we've got another challenge of actually the supply chain. The people actually going out and doing the retrofits that's actually reduced. So between 2018 and 2024, there are actually 26% fewer qualified electricians, just as demand is increasing. So there will be some bottlenecks there, I believe. And then finally, finance. So how will landlords actually pay for this compliance? So the average cost to get compliant is between £6,000 and £8,000. And then if you take that into account in terms of the average property value, we're looking at about 2.2% of the property value to get compliant. Obviously, that will vary quite widely from region. So London, that will be potentially quite lower, for example, and then also by the archetype of the property as well, from detached to flat. But that is quite a significant challenge there too. So what does it mean for you? So for lenders, there is a significant risk there around potentially devaluations, properties not being able to be let out. Sort of the financial circumstances of the landlord if they get fined, for example, but also your own sort of net zero and sustainability goals as well. There's quite a significant risk there for lenders. But I would also say there is an opportunity to be shown to be actually acting to help your landlords and differentiate in terms of that customer service, and also helping to lend and facilitate those retrofit works. For brokers, I do think there's sort of quite potentially a shift in role, and potentially there could be quite complex criteria or restrictions from lenders on certain numbers of your clients. So you're going to have to be sort of familiar with that and help sort of guide your clients through that. But also as an opportunity, again, added value to your clients and potentially a growth in specialist lending, maybe bridging, and again, how you need to sort of understand further what sort of lending options there are for certain client types. And then for agents, I think one point is about being prepared for market changes. So potentially a lot of landlords might just sell up rather than be compliant if it's not quite working out for them. But on the flip side, there might be new entrants to the market as well that see it as an opportunity to retrofit, get those properties to quite a high standard and charge potentially more rent for them as well. Double-edged sword is the management of this. So you potentially could get influx with quite a significant amount of inquiries from your landlords and having to do assessments, arrange EPCs, etc. But also an opportunity to actually add additional services to those landlords and again differentiate in terms of added value to your clients.